Good day, children. We are now in the second academic session of online classes. We all of us are eagerly waiting to go back to school and our classroom. Hope all are safe and sound. We have already learned the grammar topic verbs. This time in PA2, we will learn what is tense. Now, tense is a verb-based method and it is used to indicate the time and how the action or the state in relation to the time of speaking. Its origin is from the Latin word tempus. The concept of tense in English is a method that we use to refer to time. It can be past, present, and future. Many languages use to talk about time. Other languages have no concept of tense at all. But, of course, in English, tense matters for correct sentences and about when we are talking. So the verb tenses tell us when the thing happens. Now events can happen either in the past, present or future. So as the case may be, we have three types of tenses which we have to study in grade 4. That is present tense, past tense and future tense. Now present tense means a verb which refers to the present time. And like example, whatever you're doing now, that's called present tense. Like I write, I study. And what is past tense? Past tense means it's over. It refers to past time. Like you have done it yesterday. Like suppose today is Monday. So Monday is your present tense and yesterday was Sunday. So Sunday is the past tense when you talk about the verbs. Like I wrote. So usually the verbs, tenses are related to verbs. So I wrote yesterday. I studied grammar lesson yesterday. And then the third type is a future tense and it's a verb which refers to the future time. Like I will write, I will study. So when is the action happening? Is it happening now? Then it's called the present tense. Has the action already happened? Then it's called past tense. And is it going to happen? It will happen in future. It's called future tense. So an action verb that describes an action that is happening now is called the present tense verb. Like the bird flies through the sky. So flies is a present tense verb because it is happening right now. So we use the present simple tense to talk about facts. Like I live in Poland, so that's a fact. I live in Chennai. Then habits and routines. What are your habits? They swim every day. I write one page of handwriting daily. And then it also, you can talk about your feelings and emotions like they like pizza and the general truth like Sunday comes after Saturday. So some more examples of habits. I always drink coffee at work. She gets up at 7 a.m. every day. And some true facts. She's 60 years old. We live in New York. And some general facts. The earth is not flat. The sun rises in the east. And some future timetables and schedules. My train arrives tomorrow. We fly to Paris on Monday. The verb which are used in the present tense, they also undergo a change according to the number and the person, which we have already learned in the chapter verbs. And it is always the simplest form of the verb, like I play, we play, then you play, they play. He plays, she plays, and this is according to the subject verb agreement which you have already learned. So we also have to check the agreement of the verb with the subject. So in the present simple third person, when it is singular, he, she, it, we have to add either s, es or ies to the base form of the verb. So if the verb is just a regular verb, we have to add an s, like travel becomes travels, then give becomes gives, play becomes plays. And for verbs that ends in s, ss, ch, x and o, we have to add an es. Example, wash, washes, mix, mixes, go, goes. And to verbs that end in y, after a consonant, any letter that isn't in a vowel, change the y to I and add es. Example, study. So remove the y and add ies, studies. And then fly, remove the y and add ies, so it becomes flies. So you can see some more example. So this is the base form. We work in an office, you work in an office, they work in an office. But when the verbs end with ch, sh, x, ss, then go o. So see how it changes. He watches television. He washes the dishes. She fixes radios. He misses his girlfriend. She goes to school. She does his homework. He studies English. So there are three forms in the simple present tense. You have the affirmative sentences where you are meaning yes. So the sentence means yes. I run fast. So here you run fast. He runs fast. She runs fast. It runs fast. They run fast. We run fast. So these are the affirmative. Here the subject is there, then the verb is there, and either it will have an s or an es as the case may be, and plus the object. And then we have the negative sentences where you are meaning that you do not, that is no. Negative means no. So here you have to write don't, then doesn't. Don't and doesn't are used in the negative sentences. Then interrogative. Interrogative means questioning, asking questions. So when you ask questions, so in the beginning you start with do or does. So do is used, remember, for plural subjects, and does is used for singular subjects. Exercise for the simple present tense. So just keep in mind also the subject verb agreement and see that if you can do this exercise. So when we are doing the simple present tense, we also have to read about state verbs. Now, what are state verbs? Now, we already know that verbs are action words, but there are also some verbs which do not indicate any actions. They do not describe any action. Now they are all only indicating qualities which can last for some time, or the qualities which will never change. So like example, mm, I am listening to a bird singing. It's a action word. Whereas when you say I hear a bird singing, so you're not doing any action. So I hear is a state verb. Whereas over here in the second example, you see I'm looking at the dog. So I'm looking is an action verb. Whereas I see dogs running. You're not doing any action. You're just seeing. So seeing is a state verb. Another example is like some words, some verbs, you can do different action, but their meanings are different. So you see the picture, first picture, he looks messy. And in the second picture, he is looking at a tie. So you can visibly see the difference in the meanings. And then there are some, so these are the action state verbs which are denoting different meanings. And then it also, the state verbs denotes the mental state. What is your emotions? How is your mental being? So they will describe your thoughts. Like, I think it's beautiful. And then the man, he's saying, I disagree. I don't like it. So, so this agree, disagree, understand, remember, believe, think, know, these are all. So the state verbs reflect your thoughts, emotions, senses, and your possession, that is your belongings. You can go over this table and read all the verbs which come under the heading of all these non-action words. So this is the exercise related to the state verb and the action verb. Like the first example, she doesn't eat meat. So eat is showing the action, whereas the next second one, are you having breakfast? The having also denotes action. And whereas the third sentence, they have a nice boat they use during the summer. So have is reflecting the belonging. So it's a state verb. And I like playing tennis. So like is your state of uh, feelings, like how do you like it? So you like it very much. So it's a state. Then do you need anything? Need is your, uh, again, it is responding to your senses. So it's a state. Then this medication contains caffeine. Caffeine contains is, it is there in that caffeine. So caffeine is there in the medicine. So it is a state. It is not showing any action. So it is just describing that medication contains caffeine. Then I often go to the cinema. So go is action. And then where are you going? Going is the action. So this is the exercise related to state verbs. Please do it in your revision notebook. Thank you, children, and please do the exercises given in unit number 11 and 12.